Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today's fourth and final video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's fourth and final video. So day 10 will take us around the 8th of June. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extended GFS and ECM ensembles for runs around a couple of weeks. Have a look at the CFS-V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, which will pretty much get us to the end of June, really. So I'll get on with that for you very shortly. Just say that the first video releases our 7 AM upload. We've released weekend forecasts as well today, and also the third and final season 1 roundup for summer 2021. It's getting together 15 long-range models from the world's leading forecast centres, see what they're all showing for summer for the final time this season. A very mixed bag of models, and not going to be much help in the summer forecast, which are going to be releasing tomorrow. So I am struggling, I can tell you that now, I am struggling with the summer forecast. You'll find out tomorrow what we're expecting for this summer, and it'll be released at 10 AM. I'll tell you what's coming up, you know, tomorrow at the end of this video. Now, enjoy the content on the channel, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We're not all that far away from 11.2k subscribers, 11,200, so please give us a sub if you'd like to do that. And drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Hope you're having a lovely Saturday afternoon. Right, so let's crack on. I'm going to start off with latest observations from XC Weather. Here we go. Pretty warm afternoon developing out there. Got 22 degrees there at Chivenna, down across southwestern England, widely around 20 or 21 along the south coast. Several of these stations are recording 21 at Bournemouth, for example. Dunkers well at 19. We've got Yeovilton at 20 degrees. Down in south, he's not quite as warm there. Langdon Bay at 17. It's very pleasant conditions. Up in towards Doncaster, 20 degrees there. Linton Ouse at 21 to Midlands, 18 at Churchill Orford, and 17 at Western. So upper teens to low 20s widely across the country. It is a little bit cooler out west. We'll go move on from that place. Lake Burnley is at 15 degrees. Capel Curragh at 15. Carnarvon Airport at 15. So swinging a little bit across North Wales, and also parts of Northern Ireland. So Ballypatrick is just 14 degrees, and Western Scotland we've got Tulloch Bridge at 15. So, but on the east side of Scotland it's quite warm. Boyne at 20 degrees. It's not bad. It's been pretty cloudy this morning, but the sunny spells are developing from the south and the east. I think that brightening up process will continue through the rest of today. How about we get broadcast and see, you know, what's expected not only today, but through the next few days. Right, this LCT is looking, so central temperature is standing at 9.9 degrees. That's provisional to yesterday, the 28th. That is still over 1 degree below the 61 to 1990 average. Had an update from Simon, aka Global Warming, on the Weather Outlook Forum, projecting that we're going to finish up at 10.1. Finishing up at 10.1 for central England temperature for May 2021. So not finish up under 10 degrees as looked very likely a few days ago. These last 2 or 3 days are going to bring the CT up a lot. It's going to be around a 0.3 downwards correction, so 0.3 of a degree downwards correction is likely, and as I say, we finish up at 10.1. That's a projection where we finish. That will still, however, although that's come up a little bit from, you know, from a few days ago, with a projection a few days ago, when I think it was projecting 9.8. But that is still going to be the coldest May since 1996. It will still be the coldest May for 35 years. No, it'd be the coldest May for 25 years, following on from the coldest April for 35 years. So we're still doing that, and I think the coldest April and May combination since 1941. I think that is still on course as well. Talked about this last week, I think, last Saturday. April and May combined, coldest since 1941. I think that is still on course as well. So although not quite as chilly as it looked like it would be for May, like a week or so ago, you know, not sub 10, it still looks as though it's a very, very significantly colder than average month, and our coldest May for 25 years with a CT anyway. But June is going to be a very different kettle of fish, I think. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Leicester. Someone's asked to have a look at Leicester today. Now, if you'd like to have your local town or city feature within this part of the video, then please let me know through the comments or via the GavsWeatherVids social media accounts. And we're very happy to feature your local location. I don't think you quite go down to village level, but we can certainly go down to local town cities. So let us know in the comments where you'd like to see feature. So at the moment, we're very close to average with the upper air temperatures for Leicester. Of course, due to the strength of the sun, if the upper air temperatures around average at this time of year, then it'll actually be a bit warmer than average as we are seeing today. That's, you know, purely down to the strength that the sun now has in it. Only, you know, only around 3 weeks away from the highest point in the sky, the longest day, of course. Over the next few days, those upper air temperatures will continue to rise. So by the middle of this coming week, we're going to see a temperature up to around 10 degrees at 850 HPA. That will probably get us into the mid-20s Celsius, I would have thought. After that, we see a little bit of a drop in the upper air temperature, but still generally staying quite warm. And actually, it looks like the first half of June, dates are on the bottom of the chart, of course, first half of June, generally average to above. So very, very, very different June compared to May. You know, it's been solidly, until the last day or so, been solidly below average during May throughout the entire month. And same was true with April, really, excepting the opening days of April. But this June looks like it's going to be quite significantly warmer, you know, and plenty of warm weather to come. Not going to be completely settled, though. So the next few days are going to have a lot of dry weather through this bank holiday weekend. There will be plenty of dry and fine conditions lasting towards the middle of next week. But after that, we do bring the precipitation spikes back. And there's a growing threat through the second half of next week of thunderstorms. Thursday and Friday could see some very heavy showers and thunderstorms breaking out. And then beyond that, it looks like it's relatively showery and quite unsettled too. So no problems with temperatures, but it does look as though things will be getting wetter again after a few days of drier conditions. Around a week of drier conditions, I think. But once that's out of the way, it looks like things will get wetter once again. So it could be a bit volatile given the warmth and humidity within the atmosphere. Temperature anomalies from the 29th of May to the 6th of June are going to be above average in most parts of the country once again. And the precipitation anomaly showing an east-west split, actually driving average for eastern Scotland and eastern England, wetter than average for southwestern Scotland, Wales and central southern southwestern parts of England. And a lot of that wet weather in the west is going to be down to thunderstorms, I think, later on in the week. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that we have changed the wind direction. We've lost those chilly northerlies that we had through most of April and May. They've been shunted off into the eastern part of Europe. They're going from like Scandinavia down to Black Sea. We are now pulling in like easterlies, southeasterlies, very different wind direction, much warmer wind direction. This is how the UK Met is looking for Tuesday. High pressure will be in control of the weather on Tuesday, sitting over Scandinavia and pulling in warm or very warm east to southeast winds. Let's turn the webcam on, shall we, while we go through these charts. There we go, I'm back. Right, so you'll see the hand movements now. Right, so we have Tuesday with Scandinavia, with high pressure over Scandinavia, bringing those east to southeasterly winds. Look at this low pressure around Biscay, moving northwards through Wednesday. Could bring some showers in the southwest on Wednesday. Thursday, we might bring thunderstorms into western parts of the country, and then that pushes northwards by midnight on Friday into western Scotland, probably taking the storm risk north. Another little thundery low, looks like it's going over south of France at midnight on Friday. That's likely to drift northwards through France and into England and Wales through Friday and might bring a very, very thundery end to next week. And more in the weekend forecast. Right, that's where else we go with UK Met. This is how the GFS midnight run is looking. So again, the high pressure is in there over Scandinavia on Tuesday. We're bringing up these warm to very warm southeasterly winds. There's that little thundery low to the southwest at midnight on Wednesday. That will take thunderstorms up the western side of the country, I think, through the course of Wednesday and into Thursday, pushing into the north. And they have this next thundery low coming up from France overnight, Thursday into Friday. That one again threatening to bring some big thunderstorms into the south during Friday across England and Wales, and then drifting northwards by Saturday. We're all within like that thundery area of low pressure, but cool air will be moving in across the Atlantic. We'll start to lower the humidity and turn things cooler into next weekend, albeit still with showers, but I think the intensity of the showers next weekend will ease off. They shouldn't be as thundery or volatile, but there will still be showers around. Right, up to day 10, all going rather flabby, so we've got some higher pressure to our north and to our southwest. Otherwise, you know, we're in a cold there, which means we're neither under high pressure or low pressure. You get any kind of weather under a cold, I suspect that would still be a little bit showery. And then into the extended range, this area of low pressure in the Atlantic has a go pushing in from the west. I could bring some wet and windy weather to western areas, and obviously significantly cooler conditions too. Never really making it through to the east though, and eventually we look like it's trying to build high pressure back in by the end of the GFS midnight run, probably trying to get back towards higher pressure again. There is a little bit of a signal for some northern blocking to start re-emerging there around Greenland and Iceland by the end of the GFS midnight run. It's a really long way off there. It's the 14th of June, so not worth being particularly concerned about that, I don't think. The 6Z, again, pulling up those very warm southeasterly winds on Tuesday. Got this thundery area of low pressure pushing up the western side of the country through Wednesday. Could bring some torrential thunderstorms to more western areas. Meanwhile, eastern and northern regions probably remaining mostly dry. And then into Friday, probably bringing another thundery trough in from the south, and that could see thunderstorms becoming more widespread on Friday into the end of the week and next weekend. Heading into next weekend, this is Sunday the 6th of June, so we've got a ridge trying to build up from the Azores High, looking rather unsettled for Scotland, with showers and longer spells of rain. But up to day 10, this ridge actually starts to build again, so that settles things down and turns us drier again by day 10, which is the 8th of June. We're back to higher pressure with some drier, more settled conditions. Then low pressure tries to come in off the Atlantic, so that probably brings wet and windy weather to the northern half of the country. Southern areas under the ridge, probably mostly dry and quite warm still. And then we move up to the end of a GFS 6 which gets us to Monday the 14th of June. And we're back under high pressure again. Once more, we do see the 6Z also playing around with increased heights within the high latitudes. So northern blocking is returning there around Greenland. So if we could go on any further, which we can't, but if we could, we might see this high pressure light going north into the northern blocking, which will probably set us up for a cold and wet spell of weather. But anyway, it's like 2 weeks away, so it's not worth worrying about. And it's setting us like the first half of June for more southern areas anyway. We'll have loads of dry and warm weather. It will always be a little bit more changeable in the north. Of course, got this thundery period coming up late next week. Right, this other GM is looking, so high pressure again is over Scandinavia on Tuesday, pulling in these very warm southeasterly winds. Got this thundery low trundling up the western side of the country through Wednesday. It could bring some storms to the west, mainly dry though further east, and then go through into the weekend. Not that thundery push from the south until like next weekend. So we do eventually get there. This is Saturday, 5th of June, and then we have got this thundery low moving up from France, and that probably brings thunderstorms through next weekend across the country. So a little bit delayed with that, but all much of a muchness really. And then we finish up by day 10, which is the 8th of June, back under the ridge of high pressure again. So a lot of dry, fine and warm weather returning for day 10. And then the ECM looks like that. So once more, we've got the high pressure over Scandinavia, pulling up these southeast winds. So lots of dry and warm weather to begin. Next week, they have this thundery low in the west as we go into the middle of next week. That could bring thunderstorms up the western side of the country. East areas, again, probably quite a bit drier. Second half of next week, again, not so much of that thundery low coming up from the south, but it is there over France next weekend. So that will threaten some thunderstorms into southern areas. And then we get cooler air coming in from the north. That's how we'll get to day 10, which is Tuesday, the 8th of June. So then we're close to high pressure, just out to our west. It's mainly dry at this point, but it is cooler with winds in from a northwesterly direction. So you've gathered from going through this chart, there's going to be a lot of high pressure anticyclonic weather in the next couple of weeks. There will be interruptions to the fine weather. There will be storms around through the middle and second half next week, for example. But generally, the emphasis is on pretty warm weather, and you would have thought quite a lot of dry weather as well, really, much of the time. This is how the precipitation type forecast was based on that ECM run from Tibetio.com. So again, we're looking at a lot of dry weather over the next few days. Any precipitation comes later on next week. We have these storms breaking out in the south and in the west. Those thunderstorms trundling up the western side in particular. Some of them making it over to the east side, but the worst of the downpours look like they're in the west in the second half of next week. And then we head up towards day 10. We begin to turn dry again. There's those storms just threatening the far south and southeast through like the end of next week and into next weekend. But much of that, the ECM is keeping away over France. So your GFS is much more widespread with those storms at the end of the week. And then we're into like drier but rather cooler conditions as we get up to day 10 with winds swinging into the northwest. Right, turn webcam on. Off, we'll just have a look at the options on the table within the ECM ensembles. So this is the option on the table within the ECM ensembles for day 10, which gets us to the 8th of June. We have 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, all of them with a ridge of high pressure very close to the country. So you would expect a lot of dry and fine weather with most of those options. Obviously, the exact placement, you know, they're differing. So some probably pulling in like cooler winds from the northwest, some are probably pulling up warmer winds from the south. But they're all sort of much of a muchness, really, with high pressure quite dominant in 10 days' time. In 2 weeks' time, which gets us to the 13th of June, this is the option that we've got. High pressure still in control, but a little bit further north, maybe hinting at a bit of a re-emergence of high latitude blocking again with ECM ensembles, which of course is going to be bringing like easy winds, so probably not going to be overly cold up to this point. But if we get that high pressure any further north, it is quite a long way north already, but if it goes any further north, say to like South Greenland, then we're likely to start getting low pressure coming in underneath it, along with the jet streams. So, I mean, it's inconclusive, but both the GFS operationals and the ECM ensembles appear to be playing around, perhaps with some northern blocking coming back by the middle of June. So we'll wait and see about that. Have had a lot of northern blocking over the past few months, of course, so it wouldn't be all that surprising if it did come back. But we'll wait and see about that anyway. So finally, CFSV2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down to week periods. The first week period takes from 29th of May to the 4th of June. The coming week is going to be dominated by high pressure sitting over and to the east of the country, and that be drawing in warm southerly, southeasterly winds. No real change for week 2, which is going to be the 5th through to the 11th of June. Still lots of high pressure in control of the weather, sitting over and to the east of the country. Winds coming up from like a southerly, southeast direction, so that should be pretty warm as well. Week 3 is going to be the 12th through to the 18th of June with a high pressure place more or less over the top of the country. So that's back to fine weather as well around the middle part of the month. And then week 4 is going to be the 19th to 25th of June. Still a lot of high pressure in control, but this time high pressure is just to our west-northwest, which at the very least is starting to allow cooler air to come around the side of the ridge, around the eastern side of the ridge from the north. There is also a trough beginning to get going over Scandinavia. So again, that might be starting to hint of the high pressure beginning to go in that direction again, and you know what that means. Set up high pressure there, and we could start going back to the cool wet pattern that we had through May. But it's 4 weeks away, so it's a long way off, and you know, I wouldn't be that concerned about it at this point. Certainly the first half of May looks like it's going to be pretty warm, and I think there will be quite a bit of dry weather in there to enjoy, along with, of course, some thunderstorms. Right, if you enjoyed the video, please can you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel for future weather content. If you do that, tell friends, family, everybody else to subscribe. Thank you so much for doing this for GavsWeatherVids, and drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And we're done for the videos for today. So I've just got to tell you what's coming up the rest of the bank holiday weekend. So tomorrow we'll start off with our 7 AM forecast. We will release the summer forecast at 10 AM tomorrow. I'm going to get that recorded later on. It's going to be a very, very difficult forecast indeed, but I'll do my best. GavsWeatherVids sunny roundup and an autumn sneak peek tomorrow, along with a live stream at 6 PM. It's all going to be happening. So it's going to be a busy day, mega day tomorrow at GavsWeatherVids. So you keep checking that for all that. And then on Bank Holiday Monday, of course, we've got our historic video. That's already done and in the can, thankfully. I'm not going to worry about that. So looking at 1970 part 2. So we did part 1 for 1970, which covered like the first half of the year of 1970, winter 1969-70, and spring 1970. We did that on the last Bank Holiday Monday in early May. We've got part 2, which will cover like summer, autumn, and through to winter 70-71 coming up for you on this Bank Holiday Monday. And then that will be 1970 in 2 parts covered. Right, so you enjoy your the rest of your Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow, either for our videos, summer forecast, whatnot, or on our live stream at 6 PM. But for this video, for today's videos, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.